BadWolfMTG here, and you're watching the Aether Hub. This is Commanding Lore, the series where we dive into the stories of your favorite legendary creatures. And we learn a little bit about how they got to their commanding position. Today we're going to be taking a closer look at one of the wizard commanders from the new Commander 17 set. Mairsil the Pretender had a very scheming route to obtain his throne, but to better understand this commander we have to go way back to the Dark Age of Dominaria. During these Dark Ages, the Church of Tal and the other muggles on the plane sought to eradicate any magic-minded folks. This forced the witches and wizards to find a very small, isolated area so they could secretly practice their skills and get better at their wizardry. One of the communities that they bounded together at was called the Conclave of Mages, and it was ruled by Lord Ith. Yes, this is the same Lord Ith who had the really crazy maze. Mairsil wasn't too fond of not being the top dog of the Conclave, and he decided to do something about it. He commissioned his right-hand man to build a cage worthy of the Lord Ith and then placed him over a bottomless pit. Not sure why, but there just so happened to be a bottomless pit underneath the Conclave. How convenient. Not only did he take Lord Ith's power and imprison him in a giant cage, Mairsil also siphoned off Lord Ith's own mana to keep the Conclave running. The student had finally surpassed the teacher. Lord Ith's sanities left as Mairsil continued to drain his mana, but a fleeting moment of lucidity would be Mairsil's undoing. Lord Ith managed to summon a ragman who would eventually lead Joda, the powerful wizard, to the Conclave to free Lord Ith. Unfortunately for our villainous commander, Lord Ith managed to not only destroy Mairsil, but the entire Conclave before Joda cured his insanity. Our story doesn't end here though, for an evil wizard is always prepared. For 2,000 years, Mairsil's soul laid in wait, safely stored in a small ruby ring. Eventually, an unsuspecting soldier named Lim Dul found the ring and, of course, he being the curious mind he was, placed the ring on his finger. Lim Dul didn't get any invisibility powers from the ring, but he did gain some necromantic abilities, which he put to good use. He and a powerful planeswalker Leshrac ravaged the plane of Dominaria during the Ice Age. While those two were busy pillaging and plundering, Mairsil worked tirelessly to gain control over Lim Dul to finish off his arch-enemy Joda. Apparently, 2,000 years is nothing to a wizard who's found the Fountain of Youth. Mairsil had almost succeeded in this task and was about to slay Joda when Leshrac decided that Lim Dul was getting a little too powerful for his taste and cut off his hand. Conveniently, it was the hand with the ruby ring on it. Years later, a young task mage named Jaya Ballard found the ring. She just so happened to be Joda's most trusted confidant. It took a whole decade, but Mairsil finally poisoned Jaya's mind enough to set his final plan in motion. Jaya betrayed Joda and slit his throat, but Joda viciously fought back and in the process ignited Jaya's spark. During her ascension, Jaya was able to purge all that was left of our villainous mastermind and destroy the small ruby ring. Thankfully for the plane of Dominaria, Mairsil had only managed to create one Horcrux. Knowing a bit of his backstory, we can more fully appreciate the flavor of this commander. When Mairsil the Pretender enters the battlefield, you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand or graveyard and put a cage counter on it. Mairsil the Pretender has all activated abilities of all cards you own in exile with cage counters on them. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn. Nothing has been left to the imagination. Mairsil is literally putting something in a cage and then draining and using their abilities. And just like poor Lord Ith, they probably will be stuck in exile for quite some time. Will you be fighting this pretender, or will you be the one putting something in a cage? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the Aether Hub for more MTG content.